What's up, everyone? I'm back. I hope you enjoyed your holiday break. I had a lot of fun and I decided to take a little break from YouTube to spend some time with the ones I love. Today, we're going to be jumping into 10 Premiere Pro tips that I think will speed up your editing process. I'm sure you've heard of a couple of them, but I'm also sure that there are some that you didn't even know were possible. These are what I use every single day to make sure I can get my projects done in a timely manner. So let's jump on into what it is in this video. But first, know that I always give away one free version of my Ultimate Effects Pack on every tutorial. The winner is going to be announced at the end of this video. Let's jump into it. If y'all want more videos like this, click that like button because it seriously helps out the channel. Tip number 1 is rearranging your workspace. If you click on any of these windows, you can click and drag them around to get them somewhere you like. Everything in Premiere Pro is adjustable, and if you don't like where something is, you can click and drag that workspace. If you'll notice that when you click and drag from the top, you'll get a center, you'll get the edges, and you'll also get a green line, which means it'll go to the edge of everything on that side. When you get your workspace to something that you like, you can go up here to the top and click those 3 lines and select Save as New Workspace and rename this. Now, if you click the 2 arrows, you can click Edit Workspaces, and this is where you can change your workspaces around. I'm going to drag my color workspace to Do Not Show and click OK. You can also edit the arrangement of your workspaces. I'm constantly changing my workspaces to get it to something that I like. Tip number 2 is using proxies. If you're playing back through your footage and you'll notice that it's a little choppy or you can't play back at full resolution and it just kind of stutters all over the place, you can use proxies. So what a proxy is, it will basically use a lower resolution video file to edit with, but when you export, it'll be full resolution. So all you have to do is hit the plus sign over here and find this little thing called toggle proxies. Drag that down here into the blue area and click OK. All you have to do now is find the clips that you want to use proxies for. You can use your entire project and create a proxy, but that may take some time. So for this sake, I'm going to click on all of my drone footage, right click on those, and go down to Proxy, Create Proxies. This dialog box will pop up and you can use a preset of a low resolution or something like 720p, and then all you have to do is click OK. Once you click OK, Media Encoder will open up and start creating those proxies. The great thing about creating proxies is that you don't have to do anything. It will do it all by itself. However, it does take some time in the front end. So if you want to edit faster, make sure you create some proxies. You can close out of Media Encoder, and now when you start to edit your drone footage, instead of editing the full drone footage that may get choppy, you can click that toggle proxies button. As you notice, it won't be as choppy anymore because you are now editing a lower resolution file. However, once you export, it will actually export the full resolution file. Tip number 3 brings me to optimizing Premiere Pro. If you don't like proxies because they take some time, something you can do right away is change the playback resolution by clicking this box over here and changing it to 1/4 or even 1/8, just so you can edit a little bit faster without any lag. You can also click the settings button and make sure high quality playback is not selected. That way it will play back at a lower resolution so you can scrub through your timeline a little bit faster. Another thing you can do is go to Edit and Preferences and then head on down to Media Cache. Once you go to Media Cache, click on the Media Cache database and select Browse. If you have an extra drive, this would be great to save those Media Cache files to a separate drive. This way, Premiere Pro will not use the same drive to store the Media Cache files, thus making your editing faster. Tip number 4 is using the source window to find usable footage. You can double click on a video and scrub through in the source window. And once you find an area that you like, you can hit I to set an in point and then select O to set an out point and drag that clip into your timeline. And just like that, you have that clip in your timeline. And you can keep repeating this process to quickly and easily edit as fast as you need to. This brings me to tip number 5. You can use a pancake timeline. What I mean by that is you can start editing by dragging all of your clips into the timeline. And then this is going to be your pancake timeline where you can pull footage from. I like to name my pancake timeline raw footage. And what you have to do now is right click on your raw footage sequence up in the project area and go to duplicate. Once you duplicate that timeline, you can double click on it and delete everything in that timeline. And what you're going to do is also click enter on that sequence and rename it to final video or something that you can easily remember by. And then go to your raw footage timeline and drag the final video sequence to the bottom portion of that sequence. So now you'll see that once you resize things, you have all of your clips in the top portion. You can just drag and drop your clips as needed when you are editing. This is really nice for a bigger project so you can see what clips you want to work with and you can easily chop it up. One way to easily chop up your clip if you don't like using the source window is hitting Q, which will delete the entire front half of your clip, and then scrubbing forward and hitting W, which will delete your back half of the clip. Tip number 6 brings me to a way of exporting your video and starting another project while that video is exporting. All you have to do is go to File, Export, and select Media. Once you select Media, instead of clicking Export and waiting, all you have to do is hit Q. Once you click Q, it'll open up into Adobe Media Encoder and you can export that way by clicking the play button. Once it starts exporting, you can actually go back into Premiere Pro and open up a new project or a recent project that you are working on, and you can start editing this project while that video is exporting, which is pretty incredible. Tip number 7 is a fast way of copying effects onto other clips. So normally you would have to go over here and highlight all the effects that you would like to copy and hit Control C. But now all you have to do is on your clip, you don't have to select anything. You can just hit Control C and then go over to another clip that you want the effect on and hit Control Alt V. That will bring up the Paste Attributes dialog box and you can select all of the properties that you would like to copy over and then select OK. And just like that, you have copied that effect onto another clip. And if you would like to copy it onto multiple clips, all you have to do is highlight and select any clip that you'd like to copy it to, and the same process, Control Alt V, and select the effect that you would like to copy, and then click OK. And then just like that, that effect has been copied onto all of those clips. Tip number 8 is a way to copy audio effects onto the entire audio track instead of having to manually drag the effect onto all of your clips and adjusting them manually. All you have to do is go to the audio panel, and then under the audio panel, you're going to head over to Audio Track Mixer. Once you open up the Audio Track Mixer, you can see all of the tracks that you have, and since my voiceover is on the audio layer 1, you can go into audio 1 and then start adding effects that will manipulate the entire audio track 1, such as a hard limiter. And now when you adjust this, that parameter will be adjusted to all of these clips. So this is really nice if you have multiple audio layers with music and you want it to be all a nice even level, or even sound effects. You can manipulate each audio track individually. All right, so tip number 9 is a way to color grade your footage that shows up multiple times within your timeline. I know it gets pretty crazy because sometimes when you edit, you have to chop up your clip, and if you want to make a change, you have to end up copying your color grade onto all of your clips. And a better way to actually do that is, instead of color grading each individual clip, you're going to color the master of the clip. So head on over to your color tab. Once you're in your color grading tab, all you have to do is select master, and any adjustment that you make to this clip, it will actually adjust all of your future clips. So if you have a LUT that you like, all you have to do is copy that LUT onto the master of that clip so that it will be adjusted on all of your future clips where it shows up. You'll notice that it is a master color grade if the clip has a little red line beneath the FX button. And finally, tip number 10 is the one that I probably use the most. If you haven't used it before, it's going to be a game changer. When you start using a lot of effects, or you have a ton of layers of video, sometimes your project can slow down a little bit. In order to speed up playback, all you have to do is hit I at the beginning of the clips and O at the end of the clips, and then go to Sequence Render Into Out. This will actually render that entire section so that when you go back to it, it will not be laggy. That's a wrap, y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please click that like button and subscribe if you're new, because I'm going to be making some more stuff in the future. The winner of the Ultimate Effects Pack giveaway for this week is Duncan S. Congratulations, my friend. I will reach out to you and send the pack your way. Again, just click the link in the description down below if you want to enter for the contest. You know, free stuff's pretty cool. But I'm glad to be back. It's also nice to take a break and kind of get a reset on life, but hopefully we can crush it in 2020. I'll see you guys next time.